Our first expert here is Bill Pound. Bill, welcome.
Thanks very much.
What are you going to share with the audience in Toronto?
Well, the idea of being present today is really to tell you a little bit about the opportunities to be in the Netherlands, but also what it takes in a wider European context to be successful.
Okay, the floor is yours.
Thanks very much. Well, one of the things I was going to touch on very briefly, I understand we're running a little bit behind time, so we're going to try and hurry this up a little bit. But I really just wanted to talk to you and make some brief remarks about why the Netherlands matters. It's a much bigger place than most people think, and certainly much bigger than it appears on a map in terms of the business importance to Canada. So on slide number 1, you will see the ranking of all of the major markets in Europe, and you'll see that not only is our trade robust and comparative to the other larger economies in Europe, but also that it's quite a diverse part of the European trade picture. Second slide will show you really why the Netherlands matters to Canada, and there are all sorts of messages in there about why it is important. But the big picture message is that it's a sophisticated, mature market, and certainly one that welcomes foreign trade. One might say foreign trade is in the Netherlands' blood. It's the second largest investor in Canada, only after the U.S., and why that is such an important element of the business in Canada. I think the other thing that I really wanted to touch on was in slide 3, which are the key messages that I'd like to leave you all with in terms of why the Netherlands makes an ideal partner for Canadians. And the real issue here is you will see the words, hopefully, in bold that come out a little bit more. But the one thing that I find remarkable about the Netherlands is that we are very, very like-minded in terms of our business approach and in certainly looking to each other and to other markets for expansion. That isn't to be underestimated, because it's that level of ability to communicate on an equal playing field which really makes Dutch partners ideal partners, not just for doing business right here in the Netherlands, in and of itself an important market, but certainly as you try to expand into other countries in Europe. Europe's been in the newspapers virtually every day over the last weeks and months because of the negotiation of the CETA agreement. And I think that those of you who are in the audience thinking about being present in Europe, and I know I'm speaking a little bit to a captive audience in terms of the European Chamber of Commerce in Toronto, but those of you who are in the audience should really recognize that there is an entry point to Europe, and we think the Netherlands, with its very comprehensive business services value chain, is an ideal entry point and launch pad into the rest of the continent. The other thing that I put down for everybody is it's a soft landing place in Europe. It is perhaps not the only destination market that you might have, but although a key one, but it is a place that it's easy to do business in and from. And so I think the key message there for you is that if you want to feel comfortable about where you're doing business and have really strong trust relationships, this is a really, really good place to be. The final remarks I would have would be really just to close on what we see as the big picture opportunities in the Netherlands in the coming year, but also throughout the European market. We have tended to theme our approach as opposed to verticalize it, and the way we've put that into a matrix is basically that we go into sustainable and green industries, access to markets, the digital economy, and innovation and investment. So those are the big things that we work on. And finally, because we're trying to catch up a little bit on time here, I just ask you all, if you have more questions or you want to explore something in more detail, to please contact us at the Canadian Embassy in The Hague, or certainly my colleagues at any other embassy throughout Europe, and I'm certain they're more than willing to provide you with more detailed information specific to your business interests. Thank you very much.